Hello friends, welcome to my new session on Brand's-Nader formula for 2 cross K contingency table. Now friends, this is a extended part of chi-square a test of independence. I will show you how. Actually this test provides a very shortcut formula to deal with this 2 cross K contingency table. I have shown you here what is meant by 2 cross K contingency table. I am explaining this part a little bit and then I will show you the proof of the formula and a solved example which will help you to understand how this formula is applied. Now let's go to see the 2 cross K contingency table. See here, these are the 2 cross K contingency table. We have 2 rows. These are the 2 rows. These are the 2 rows. I have marked in black, and these are up till this. This is a K columns up till here. Now see very carefully, friends. I am explaining this just because you need to understand very few things from this contingency table. See, from this table, the sum of the rows are denoted as M1 and M2. For the first row, the sum of the total row is M1, and for the second row, the sum of all the elements of the second row is M2. See, I have written here M1 and M2. Right? Now, for these columns, the sum of the first column is N1, sum of the second column is N2, sum of the third column is N3, and it will go on, and sum of the kth column is N of K, N suffix K. Now, you need to understand this in this N. I have previously explained in the previous sections of chi-square testing. If you have not seen it, I request you all to please have a look at that sessions so that you can have a better idea of what I am discussing here. Now, see, this is N, this is a total. If you sum all these columns or if you sum all these rows, any one of these options, you will get N. Right? This we have learned in the previous session of chi-square testing. Now, what's so special about this? You need to understand what's so special about this. This will provide a shortcut, actually a very shortcut formula to calculate the chi-square test. Actually, the chi-square value. Now see. What is the expected value of A11? I have already shown you the expected value. Expectation I have discussed in previous sessions. Expected value of A11, it will be sum of the total rows of A11, that is M1, divided by sum of the column, that is N1. This whole divided by N. This will be the expectation of E of A11. Now, if you observe here very carefully, you will see that for all the rows, this first digit is remaining the same. Only the second digit is changing. These digits are changing. And the similar goes for this second row also. This 2 is remaining the same, but the second digit is changing. So, for E of AI, for E of A of 1i, it means, I am rubbing this part. So, for E of A of 1i, what does I means? I means the number of rows. I means the number of columns. See, as I have told you before, the number of columns are varying, the second digit is varying. So, I have kept this first digit constant A of 1i and I am varying the second digit so that I can find the expectation of each and every element of first row. So A of 1. Then I have given the I to denote the column number. Now, coming back here, what can be the expectation? A of 1i, that means this part, this cell. What can be the expectation here? Then, as per expectation only, we have to find this thing. This one, the sum of the rows, and this one, the sum of the column. That is n1 into n1 by n. N is this total, so I have done this n. Now, if we are asked to find a of 2 1, I'm sorry, a of 1 2, what shall we do? In that case, the sum of the row will be same n1 because it is in the same row, but the sum of the column will change. It will become n2. Why? Because the column is changing. See here, this is a of 1 2. This was a of 1 1. Sorry, this was a of 1 1. This is a of 1 2. So the sum of the column is changing. This will be this was a of 1 1 and this is a of 1 2. So the columns are changing. That's why this is n2 and this is n1. Now we can say from here, if we are asked to find any digit, suppose e of 1i, right? Then see, if we are asked to find e of 1i, then we can say, I'm writing here, I'm rubbing this part. Now see, if we are asked to find e of a1i, then what shall we do? m1 will remain constant because m1 is the sum of the first row, it will remain constant. But this n will change. So it will become ni. I will vary with this I. This I. It will vary with this I. It will go on. So if this is I1, then it will go for n1. If I is equal to 2, then it will go for n2. If I is equal to 3, then it will go for n3. And this will go on. So divided by n. So this is what we get as EI. I am writing it here. So I have written this here. See here friends carefully. I have written this here. E of AMI M1 into NI. So this sum of the columns are varying with this I value and divided by n. N will remain the same because n is the total of all the rows or all the columns. So this capital N, it will remain the same. It will remain same for every cases. Now coming to this second row. If we are asked to find the, I am doing this here. If we are asked to find the expected value of A of 2 1, what is A of 2 1? It is this element. Now it means the 2 1 means second row. The sum of the second row is this M2. Sum of the second row is M2. So I am writing here 2. And the sum of the first column is N1. So I am writing here 1. And this will become like this. E of 2 1 will be equal to M of 2 1. Again, if I change these things, suppose I write E of 2 3. What will it become? See here. The sum of the 2 3 means second row, third column. Then the sum of the second row is M2, so it will remain as it is, and this N1 will change to N3 because the sum of this third column, so N3, and it will go on. So if we are asked to find E of A of 2i, right, then we can say is m2 into ni by n. See here. Here m2 as I have shown here, m2 will remain the same as it is the second sum of the second row, and n1 will vary because the column is varying. So this is E of A of 2y, that is m2 into ni by n. I hope it's clear up till this part. Now, if you have not understood anything, please comment in the comment section. I will give you reply. Now, after doing this, I will be moving to the proof of the formula. Before that, I will write the formula of what is the chi-square test. Here I have written the formula of the chi-square testing. I have written the formula of the chi-square test of 2 cross K contingency table using Brandt-Snyder's formula. This is the formula. I am telling you what is P and Q. I will define in the later part of this video. And AI, what is A1I whole? I have already defined it. A1I, it means element of first row and ith column. M1 is the sum of first row and n is the grand total. See, usually chi-square test, what we did? We did like this: summation of the observed value minus expected value whole square divided by expected value. Right? This is the thing which we have done in chi-square usually. This I will apply the same formula here, but the expression will change a little bit. See, here chi-square is. Now see here, I have written the formula of the chi-square here. It is shown summation of A of 1i minus E of 1i. I have told you it is a summation. I represents the column number by E of A of 1i. See, can you tally with this expression? This is the observed value, this observed value. Expected value is this one divided by expected value. Right? This is raised to the power 2. In the similar way, I have written this for the expressions of the second row also. See here, I have just changed this 1 into 2 and other things remains the same. Now, if I deal with this first expression only, I will explain the second expression also. I am dealing with the first expression to come to the proof. Right? Here, what I have told you, E of A of 1i, this one is equal to M1 into Ni by N. This was the thing I have told you previously also. Now, if I put these values here, Ai minus M1 into Ni by N, this one whole square divided by M1 Ni into N. I have rubbed this part because it will create a confusion, because you will think that this part is a part of this expression. I have just expanded this expression. I have just put the values of E of 1i here. Now see, if, can we write this A of 1i like this? We can write this A of 1i like this expression also. See, I am multiplying this ni by ni, so 1, it will become 1. Multiplying anything with 1, it will give the same value. So I am putting this like this, and I will put this value here. I will put this value. I will put this value here. And I will expand this term more to check, to come to the proof. You will see in both the cases this ni is a common term. So I will take this ni is as a common, and I will take this out of this bracket. So if I do that, if I take this ni out of this bracket, it will become this ni whole square, and these ni's will be gone. So the final expression what I get will be like this. I have just taken this ni common. Now, if you see that there is also a n suffix I in the denominator also. So if I eliminate this thing, I will get this expression. The square will cut out, and at that time, what I get, the final expression is like this. This is the final expression what I get from this first part of the chi-square test. Now there was a p. I have already shown you there was a p and q term in the total value of the chi-square test. I also told you that I will explain what is p and what is q here. Now the time has come. I will explain this p, and in the later part I will explain q also. What is q? Now see, this ai of ni. So I hope it's clear, please, but actually I have to rub this thing. The final expression what I got is n of I into a of 1i by ni minus m1 by n, this one raised to the power 2 by m1 n. This is the final expression what we get. Now this a1i by ni, this is represented as p of I. So I will change according to the columns, and m1 of divided by n, this is represented as p. Okay, so this expression will turn into p, and this expression will also turn into t. See here, this will be pi. So I am writing here pi minus p whole square by this one all p. So this p. This is the final expression what we got. This thing is the final expression what we got. This will be placed here. In coming to the second part, what we get is a of 2i minus e a of 2i by now if we proceed in the similar one, we will get, this is the expression that we will get if we proceed in the similar manner. Now there was also q term also, I have shown you before. What is this q term? I will get this q term from here. This a of 2i by ni, it will be qi, and this m2 by n, it will be q. I hope you have got this part. This a2i by ni, it will be this qi, and m2 by n, this will be q. So I hope the doubt is clear that what is p, what is q. I have explained this here, that these are the p and q's. Now I will show you how to get them into word. If I put these values here, what we get is ni, then qi minus q whole square by q. So I will put this expression here and proceed with the proof. Now see, I hope it's clear up till this part. If you have any doubt, I request you all to please comment in the comment section. I will give you reply. Within 24 hours, I will give you reply. Now see, I have made a contingency table here. Here the first element is A11, A12, A13 and A1. The signs have the similar meanings as I have discussed. This is A21, this is A22 and this is A23. This is M2. This is N1, N2, N3 and this is N. Now, if I say A1i plus A2i, what does that mean? It means the sum of the columns. See here, I can be 1 or I can be 2. Here I have seen I is equal to, sorry, not 0, this one. I can be 1 to k because usually we denote that the k rows or k columns are there. So this is equal to ni. Now if we divide both sides by ni, what we get? A1i by ni plus A2i by ni is equal to 1. Right? We get this expression. Now A2i plus A1i is equal to 1. Sorry, by ni. This one will also be by ni. This is equal to 1. Now this A of 1i, what does it mean? It means pi. So I am placing it pi here. And A2i by ni, what does this mean? It means qi. I am placing qi here. So this one is equal to 1. It means that pi plus qi is equal to 1. And this expression will always be true for 2 cross k contingency table. Similarly, for M1 and M2 also, I am rubbing this part to make you the relation between M1 and M2, actually the relation between P and Q. See, M1 plus M2, these two, it sums up to N. If we divide this by N, what we get? M1 by N plus M2 by N is equal to 1. Now we see M1 by N, what was it? M1 by N, it means P, and M2 by N, it means Q. So again we can see P plus Q is equal to 1. Right? Please try to remember this formula, friends. I will apply here to get further into the proof. I hope it's clear up till this part. So I am proceeding to the next part. Now see, in this second expression, if I put this ni in place of q, I put 1 minus p. Why? Because p plus 1 is equal to q. This was the expression. So in place of q, I can write 1 minus p into, in place of qi also, I can write 1 minus pi, and in place of q similarly I can write minus 1 minus p. So what we get the term is like this. See, you don't get confused with the minus sign, because since it is a square, we can change the minus sign also, but it will give the same value. So I have taken this value. See here, py is a minus 1, py is minus n, so if I take minus 1 in common, it will give minus 1 raised to the power 2, it will give plus 1. If I put these two values in this expression, what will I get? I am rubbing this part and I am putting these values here. See, this is the thing what we are getting now. Now, what we can see here, we are getting some parts common here. See, this part and this part from the first expression and from the second expression also, these parts, these are common. So we are taking this out from the total expression. If I take this out, what I get? This is the thing which I get. And if I expand this further more, see here, sorry, this will be plus. And if I expand this furthermore, see, when this will be plus, this p will get cancelled out. I am writing this again here. A9 Pn minus p into 1 minus p plus p by p into 1 minus p. This is the thing, right? We are getting this. I hope it's clear up till this part. Now, these two p's will get cancelled out. Now what we will get? We'll get this expression, summation of I is equal to 1 till k a9, so this will be whole square, pi minus p whole square by p into 1 minus p. This is the expression what we will get in the last. So I am marking it again here. This is the final expression. Sorry, this k will also be included. This is the final expression what we will get. Now, I am rubbing this everything, this whole green part, and so that we can proceed with the proof. I am writing this expression here. So I equal to 1, and here this will be equal to summation of I equal to 1 to k n of I p of I minus p whole square by p into 1 minus p. Now I have also told you before that p and 1 minus p is equal to q, and p and q, these are already I have shown you, these are constant terms, so we can take this out of the summation. So I will do the same thing here. In this case, I will take this out of the summation. This 1 minus p is equal to q, I have told you before. So I am taking these two parts out. Then if I put the summation I is equal to 0 to k ni pi minus p whole square. This is the thing. Now this will be a very simple case of summation and putting the values. Actually substituting the values in summation and nothing else. I will show you now. So I hope it's clear. I am rubbing this part already now. Just take into consideration this part. Summation of I is equal to 0 to k ni minus pi minus p whole square. This is the thing. So if we expand this, what we get is this is the thing. It's just the formula I have used. Now we have to multiply here everything. So I am rubbing up the top part here and I will be showing this thing. See, I am multiplying ni with each and every elements of this part. So what I get is ni pi square plus 2p pi ni. Sorry, this will not be plus, this will be minus plus p whole square. Now see, in some cases, sorry, this will be ni another point. In some cases you will see that this ni constant terms, in some cases it will contain variables. So we will apply the summation accordingly. So you can see here ni pi, these are all variables. So this will be summation of I is equal to 1. So this is not 0, this will be 1. I is equal to 1 to k. ni will remain as it is. Now what is pi? Pi, as I have told you before, pi is equal to a1i by ni. This is the thing I told you before. I am putting this here, a1i by ni whole square. I am putting this. Then again here it's ni and pi. So I am putting here 2 into p. And what is ni? I am leaving here as ni. Pi is ni. Again, if I take out p square and put ni here, what is ni? Summation of ni means summation of ni. It means n1 plus n2 plus n3 up till here, which is equal to n. So I will put here n. So I am rubbing this part. I am rubbing from this part and I am putting the values here. See here, ni will be a square here and ni is single here. So we can write a1 whole square by ni. Now here, sorry, this will be the summation. Actually, I have made a mistake here. I have forgot to write the summation sign. I am just make a small change here, friends. I have just forgot to write this summation sign, so I have written this in green. Sorry, I apologize for my mistake. I forgot to write this thing. Now here, as we can see, this is a summation minus 2 into p into summation of ni. Sorry, this is ni and this is a, so this will cancel out. So we can write this summation of a1i plus p square into this will be n. I have shown you before how we are getting n, the summation of ni. Now, if we go further down, we will see, and keeping this expression as it is, minus 2p. Now p can also be written as m1 by n. I have shown you before how I am getting this m1, and summation of a1i summation. What does it mean? It means summation of a11 plus a12 up till k. So it is the sum of the first row. So that means it will also be equal to m1. So I am writing here m1 plus, what is p? P means m1 by n whole square. Sorry, m1 by n, and p is whole square, so I am putting here whole square. Now, if we cancel out this expression, we get 1 by p cube into a1 by ni, this raised to the power 2 minus 2 m1 whole square by n minus c here. See, this is n, this is n square, this will be n square. So we get plus m1 whole square by n. This will cancel out, right? And there it will be a summation. And if we break this further, what we will get is 1 by p cube into summation of a1 I whole square by ni minus m1 whole square by n. And this was the proof. This was the actual proof of the chi-square testing, which we actually started from the very beginning. So this is ni and this is 1 by p cube. I hope it's clear up till this part. If it's you can repeat the video once again if you want, and if you have any doubts, please comment in the comment section. I will reply. I know this is a little bit tricky thing, but it will be very helpful in tackling problems related to 2x2 contingency table. This is a formula which I have. This is a proof, the one marked in green. Right? This is the actual proof. Now see friends, here I have write down an example. It shows that A denotes the boys who are infected, this A group, and B group, it denotes the total, B denotes the total number of boys who are exposed to this, like people who have already faced COVID, who are already infected by COVID, and people who are exposed to COVID. Suppose we take this like that, and we are asked to test whether there is a difference in the incidence among the three groups. Now see, if we try to compare this with the 2x k contingency table, we will see that 60, 25, 40, that is this row, it gives the number of people who are infected, and this row, it gives the now total number of people who are exposed to the infection. So we can say that this row can be ni, that is the total of each column, and these rows can be a1i. So we need to deal with a1i and m1 and capital N. So we don't need to calculate whether there is a2i or anything else. We can directly apply this formula. That's why I tried to make you understand why this formula works. I hope I have explained you people everything about this clearly. I am again explaining that suppose this one is a19, this 60, 25, 40. These are the people who are infected by the infection, and this row, it shows the number of people who are exposed to the infection. Now we are asked to test whether there is any particular difference between these age groups. This 1, 2 and 3. These are the three age groups, and we are asked to find out whether there is any difference of incidence among the three age groups. Now, how will we tackle it? I have already denoted here A1i and these are A9. So, now the null hypothesis for this test is there is no significant difference. This is a null hypothesis of the test. And what will be the alternative hypothesis? There is a significant difference among groups. So this will be the null and alternative hypothesis which we have to remember, and based on this we have to calculate the chi-square. I am writing here. So that if we sum them up, we get M1 which is equal to 133, right? Now if we do for here the next row, we get N1 is equal to 60, sorry not 60, N1 is equal to 240, N2 is equal to 470, and N3 which is equal to 350. Right? Now we have to calculate capital N. What is capital N? Capital N is equal to N1 plus N2 plus N3. Right? And summing them up, what we get is this 0, then 9 and 6. Carrying 1, this thing 1060, summing them up. That is capital, the value of capital N is 1060. Now I hope it's clear up till this part. I will remove this. Now what is P here? P is equal to M1 by N. It is 133 by N is 1060, which is 0.1255. Right? We also have to find Q. So Q is equal to 1 minus P, which is equal to 0.8755. Right? So P and Q we know here now. Now we just have to apply the formula directly and we will get to the answer. Chi-square is equal to 1 by PQ into A11 by N1 plus A12 by N2 plus A13 by N3 minus M1 square by N. So this is the formula. It will be applied here. Why A1, A11, A12, A13? Because we have 3 columns. Now if I put the values here, we get 0.1255 by 0.8755. I am putting the values of P and Q. It is into, sorry, this will be whole square. Actually I have made a mistake. This will be whole square. So A11, what is A11? It was 60 whole square by N1. So now after putting the values here, we are getting this expression, and if we calculate this, what we will get? Chi square is finally equal to, Now this is the calculated value of the chi-square. This 56.688. This is the calculated value here. We have to also find the critical value for 5% level of significance. And what will be the degree of freedom? We will calculate it. Now the degrees of freedom for 2 cross, the table was of 2 cross 3. So 2 minus 1 into 3 minus 1. What we will get? We will get 2. Now for 5% level of significance and 2 degrees of freedom, what we will get? Chi-square critical hypothesis.